Although not the most exciting Chinese cities, Tianshui itself contains a couple of small sites that could perhaps be interested for you, thus as Maijishan Grottoes and Immortals Cliffs in the south direction, Dadiwan Giant Buddha and Water Curtain Cave in west direction, Dadiwan Site and Nüwa Empress Temple in north direction, Fuxi Temple, Jade Spring Temple, South Mountain Temple and Li Gok's Grave in downtown. Historically, this area is considered the hometown of Fuxi, a legendary emperor and ancestor of the Chinese people, and the Fuxi Temple is the most famed of the sites here. Following the route from the front gate in the south to the back gate in the north, there are numerous archways, temples, terraces and the grand main hall. Within the main hall is a representative statue of a semi-naked Fuxi. Goddess Nüwa, who is called Ancestor Grandmother among folks, was an ancestress of Chinese nation. Goddess Nüwa assisted Fuxi to put the whole world in order, and created human being with mud. In Chinese people's mind, she was the heroine of fighting flood and patching sky. There is the Nüwa Empress Temple in Tianshui, which was built in her honor, and is 126 kilometers away north from downtown. 7 kilometers away from the Nüwa Empress Temple, Dadiwan Site is a Neolithic site showing the relics of the Yangshao culture. The site reflects how the Chinese ancestors made a living about 4,800 to 7,800 years ago. Its excavation work has shocked Chinese people, due to its large scale and rich connotation. Located 45 kilometers southeast of the downtown, Maiji Mountain gets its name from its giant, haystack-like shape. The mountain's fame arises not just from its appearance, but from the many Buddhists. This is the fourth largest area of concentrated Buddhist grottos in China, after Dunhuang, Datong and Luoyang. The mountain, studded with caves and strapped by many winding walkways and spiral stairs, for people to closely see clay sculptures in these caves. If you have time, you may also pay visit to Immortals Cliffs, which is 8 kilometers away from Maiji Caves, where some Buddhist and Taoist temples built, under the shelter of an enormous overhanging cliff. Nearby there is a beautiful lake, called the Immortals Lake. Another direction you may go to is west. About 60 kilometers away from downtown and in Gansu County, the Dadiwan Giant Buddha, a representation of the Buddha Sakyamuni, was built some 1,500 years ago. It is approached by climbing a temple-lined trail on Dadiwan Mountain. Continuing facing westward to go 30 kilometers, you may arrive the Water Curtain Cave. It is a natural, arch-shaped cave that measures 98 feet high and 22 yards deep. Rains from the top of the mountain cascade down like a water curtain, thus giving the cave its name. The Lashao Temple is another extraordinary sight. An overhanging cliff shelters a 31 m high figure of Sakyamuni, seated cross-legged and with a bodhisattva on each side. Now we return the downtown, where still there are some historical sites. The Jade Spring Temple is a mecca for Western China Taoists. The palace was erected in 1299, and the present buildings were reconstructed in the Ming and Qing dynasties. The pavilions and stone inscriptions are dotted high and low on the mountain sides. In the South Mountain Temple there is a very old cypress, which is split in two at the base with another tree growing up from the base. In 759, Du Fu, the great poet of the Tang dynasty, came to Tianshui and wrote down the famous and tasteful poem, with the name South Mountain Temple. Li Gok's grave is built for commemorating Li Gok, a general in the Western Han dynasty. He was brave and skillful in battle. During his life, he fought nearly 100 battles with Huns, and was praised as a marvelous general of the Han by his enemies, who never dared to invade the Han borders as he was alive.